The fork stopped halfway to my mouth. We were sitting at her parents' dining table. Tuesday night, like we'd done dozens of times before. Her mom had just set down dessert, some apple crisps she'd been bragging about all week. Her dad was mid-story about something that happened at the hardware store. Normal, comfortable, safe. And then she said it. "You already knew I'd choose him if he ever asked me." Not whispered, not mumbled after too much wine, just said it. Casual, matter of fact, like she was commenting on the weather or asking someone to pass the salt. The room went silent. Her mom's hand froze over the serving spoon. Her dad's sentence died mid-word. I could hear the clock ticking somewhere in the hallway, each second stretching out longer than it should. She was smiling, not embarrassed, not apologetic, just this small, satisfied smile. Like she'd been waiting to say it, and finally got her chance. I looked at her for maybe 3 seconds, long enough to understand this wasn't an accident. This wasn't her being careless or saying something she didn't mean. This was intentional, calculated even. I set my fork down, picked up my napkin, wiped my mouth slowly. "Thank you for dinner, Mrs. Dixon. Mr. Dixon. The pot roast was excellent." I stood up, pushed my chair back. The legs scraped against the hardwood floor. Too loud in that suffocating silence. Her dad opened his mouth, then closed it. Her mom just stared. "Wait, where are you going?" Her voice had changed now, confused, like I'd missed my cue in whatever scene she was directing. I didn't answer, just walked to the front door, grabbed my jacket from the coat rack. "Are you seriously leaving?" Sharper now, louder. "Over a joke?" I opened the door. November air hit me cold and clean. "It wasn't a joke," I said without turning around. Then I left. The drive home took 20 minutes. I didn't speed, didn't slam my hands on the steering wheel, didn't blast angry music or call anyone. Just drove, hands at 10 and 2, like it was any other Tuesday night. But my brain was working differently now. Clearer, like someone had switched on a light in a room I'd been stumbling through in the dark for months. The late nights at the office. The phone turned face down on the table. The way she'd started dressing up for work but coming home looking different. Tired, satisfied, distant. I'd noticed. Of course I'd noticed. But I'd chosen to trust her, chosen to believe her explanations, chosen to ignore what was right in front of me. That choice ended tonight. I pulled into our driveway. White panels, blue shutters, small front porch I'd built myself last summer. Our house. The one we'd bought 3 years ago. The one I'd put the down payment on. The one with only my name on the deed because her parents insisted. Just in case, her dad had said. Just in case. Inside, everything looked the same. Her shoes by the door, her jacket on the coat rack, photos of us on the wall. Vacation in Colorado, wedding day, Christmas at her parents' house. All of it suddenly felt like evidence of something that had ended long before tonight. I went to the garage and found the boxes I'd saved from our last move. Started carrying them upstairs. Her closet first. I pulled dresses off hangers, folded them carefully, packed them into boxes. Not angry, not throwing things or making a mess. Just methodical. Shoes, jewelry, that expensive perfume her sister gave her last Christmas. Bathroom next. Makeup, hair products, that purple toothbrush she'd insisted on buying because it matched the shower curtain. I worked for maybe an hour, maybe 2. Lost track of time. My phone buzzed on the dresser. Text from her. "Where did you go?" Another one. "This is ridiculous." Then, "We need to talk about this." I turned the phone face down and kept packing. Nightstand. Books she never read but kept anyway. That journal she'd bought with big plans to write in every day and gave up on after a week. Charger cables. Downstairs to the kitchen, the expensive blender she used twice. Coffee mugs from places we'd visited together. The cast iron skillet she'd bought and never learned to season properly. By midnight, I had 8 boxes stacked by the front door. Everything that was clearly, undeniably hers. I sat on the couch and looked at my phone. 17 missed calls, 12 texts. The last one said, "I'm coming home. We're going to talk about this like adults." I looked at the boxes by the door. Then I stood up, walked to the garage, and found the lockbox where we kept important papers. Inside was the spare key and the business card for the locksmith who'd helped us when we first moved in. I called the 24-hour emergency number. A guy answered on the 3rd ring, voice thick with sleep. "I need locks changed. Tonight. I'll pay double." He was there in 40 minutes. While he worked, I carried the boxes outside and set them on the porch. Neat, organized, everything visible and accounted for. The locksmith handed me the new keys. "Domestic situation?" "Something like that." He nodded. "Seen it before? Good luck, man." He left. I went inside, locked the door with the new key, sat back down on the couch, and waited. Her car pulled up at 1:30 in the morning. I heard the door slam, footsteps on the porch, the key scratching in the lock once, twice, 3 times. What the hell? More scratching, then knocking. "Open the door." I didn't move. "I know you're in there. Open the door." Silence from me. Her phone lit up where I'd left it on the coffee table. She was calling. I let it ring. This is insane. You can't just lock me out of my own house. My house, actually. Only my name on the deed. Her parents had insisted on that when we bought it. Some tax thing, some protection thing, just in case. Funny how things work out. The knocking got louder, then stopped. I heard her on the phone outside, muffled voice, then footsteps going down the porch stairs. Car door, engine starting. She left. I sat there in the dark living room, in the house I'd bought, that I'd fixed up, that I'd made into a home. And for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt like I could breathe. I woke up on the couch at 6 in the morning, neck stiff, still wearing yesterday's clothes. For about 5 seconds, I thought maybe it was a bad dream. Then I saw the empty space where her reading chair used to be, the gaps on the bookshelf where her stuff had been. Not a dream. I made coffee. Strong, black, the kind that tastes like burnt tires but gets you moving. My phone had 32 notifications. I scrolled through them while the coffee brewed. Her. I'm staying at my parents' house. Her. We need to talk. Her. You're being childish. Her mom. Please call me. Let's work this out. Her dad. Son, let's be reasonable here. Her best friend, Catherine. What did you do? That last one made me laugh. What did I do? Right. I deleted all of them. Blocked her number, blocked her parents, blocked Catherine. The coffee finished brewing. I poured a cup and sat at the kitchen table. 3 years of marriage. 5 years together total. And it ended with one sentence at a dinner table. Except it didn't really end there, did it? That was just when I finally paid attention. I pulled out my laptop and started looking through old emails. There, 6 months ago, working late again. Don't wait up. 4 months ago, girls' night, be back late. 2 months ago, conference this weekend. Probably won't have much signal. I'd believed everyone. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered without thinking. You can't just throw someone out of their home. Her voice. I didn't throw you out. You left. You changed the locks. My house, my locks. We're married. That's not how it works. Tell me something, I said. Who is he? Silence on the other end. The guy you'd choose, who is he? More silence. Doesn't matter now, does it? Her voice was different, harder. You overreacted. I was just talking. You're making this into something it's not. I'm making this into exactly what it is. Which is what? Over. I hung up. Blocked that number too. The coffee was getting cold. I dumped it out, poured another cup. My buddy Wyatt called around 8. We'd known each other since high school. Worked construction together before I got my job at the electrical supply company. Dude, Catherine just called Marion. What's going on? Marion was his wife. Of course the news was spreading. She said something stupid at dinner last night. I left, changed the locks. That's it. That's it? Man, what did she say? I told him. He was quiet for a long moment. Then, oh, damn. Yeah. You need anything? No, I'm good. You sure? Want to grab a beer later? Maybe, I'll let you know. We hung up. Good friend. Didn't push. Didn't tell me I was wrong. Just offered to be there. I spent the rest of the morning documenting everything. Screenshots of old texts, calendar entries showing all the nights she'd been busy. Credit card statements showing charges at restaurants I'd never been to, hotels I'd never stayed at. Not planning anything specific, just preparing. My dad always said, measure twice, cut once. Same principle. Around noon, my phone rang again. Different unknown number. Stop ignoring me. Her voice was sharp now, angry. We need to figure this out. There's nothing to figure out. You can't just end a marriage over one comment. Watch me. I have rights, legal rights. You can't keep me from my own home. Call a lawyer then. Are you serious right now? Completely. I hung up. Blocked that number too. The thing is, I wasn't angry. Not the way you'd expect. I wasn't throwing things or punching walls or whatever people do in movies. I just felt clear. Like I'd been walking through fog for months and someone turned on a fan. All those little moments I'd pushed down. All those times I told myself I was being paranoid or insecure. They weren't wrong. I wasn't crazy. I'd just been choosing to ignore what was right in front of me. Not anymore. I made lunch. Sandwich, chips, another coffee. And sat at the table thinking about next steps. She'd come back eventually. Try to get in. Make a scene. That was predictable. I could call a lawyer, start separation paperwork, get ahead of it. Or I could wait. Let her make the first move. See how desperate she got. My phone buzzed. Text from Wyatt. Marion says her side of the story is wild. Just FYI. I didn't ask what the story was. Didn't matter. Another text from him. Beer at Sam's Tavern at 7 if you want. I typed back. I'll be there. Needed to get out of this house anyway. Too quiet. Too full of empty spaces where her things used to be. I showered, changed clothes, looked at myself in the mirror. Same guy as yesterday, but different somehow. Lighter. Funny how much weight you don't notice you're carrying until you finally put it down. I grabbed my keys and headed out. The boxes were still on the porch, sitting there in the afternoon sun, visible to anyone walking by. Let them sit. Let the neighbors see. Let everyone know. I didn't care anymore who knew what. Sam's Tavern was busy for a Tuesday night. Sports on the TV, people talking loud over the noise. Wyatt was already there, waving from a booth in the back. "You look better than I expected," he said when I sat down. "What were you expecting?" "I don't know. More destroyed, I guess." The waitress came by. Julia, mid-40s, worked there forever. "What can I get you, boys?" "Whatever's on tap," I said. She brought 2 beers. We drank in silence for a minute. "So Marion heard she showed up at Catherine's place, crying," Wyatt said finally. "Saying you went crazy, locked her out for no reason." "For no reason? That's the story?" "According to Marion." I took another drink. "She say what she said at dinner?" "According to Marion, she claims it was a joke, that you took it wrong." A joke? In front of her parents, at dinner, just casually joking about picking another guy over her husband. Wyatt shrugged. "I'm just telling you what Marion heard." "Appreciate it." We watched the game for a while. Some team I didn't care about was losing badly. My phone buzzed. I pulled it out. Email notification. Her parents' lawyer. I opened it. Standard stuff. Request to discuss property settlement, mediation, all the usual legal language. "They got a lawyer already?" Wyatt was reading over my shoulder. "Her parents' lawyer. Family guy. Probably does their taxes too." "You getting one?" "Maybe. See how this plays out first." My phone buzzed again. Text from a number I didn't recognize. "The boxes are gone. Someone took them." Her. Different phone again. I didn't respond. Another text. Everything I own was in those boxes. Still didn't respond. "Did you just smile?" Wyatt asked. "Somebody stole her stuff off the porch." "Seriously?" "Apparently." He laughed. Actually laughed. "Man, that's cold." "I didn't steal them, just left them there." Still. We finished our beers, ordered another round. Around 9, my phone rang. Her dad this time. I recognized the number before I'd blocked it earlier. I answered. "Mr. Dixon." "Son, we need to talk about this situation." "Not much to talk about." "She's my daughter. You can't just..." "She told me at your dinner table that she'd choose another man over me. You were sitting right there." Silence. "Did I hear that wrong?" I asked. More silence. That's what I thought. I hung up. Wyatt was staring at me. "Dude, what?" "Your eyes look cold right now." "Nope, just done." We left around 10. I drove home carefully. 2 beers wasn't much, but didn't need any problems. The porch was empty when I pulled up. Boxes gone, like she'd said. I went inside, locked the door. New locks felt good, solid. Sat on the couch and turned on the TV. Some late-night show. Didn't really watch it. My phone buzzed. Her. "I need to come get my things from inside." Me. "What things?" Her. "You know what things. My clothes, my stuff." Me. "That was all in the boxes." Her. "Someone stole those boxes." Me. "Not my problem." Her. "Are you kidding me right now?" I turned my phone off, put it face down on the coffee table. The next morning, I woke up to someone pounding on my door. 7 in the morning. I looked through the window, her and Catherine and another woman I didn't recognize. More pounding. "Open up. I know you're in there." I made coffee first, let them knock. "This is harassment." Her voice was shrill now. "I'm calling the police." I almost laughed. calling the police because I won't open my own door. The pounding stopped. I looked out again. They were standing on the lawn now, her talking on the phone, gesturing wildly. 20 minutes later, a police cruiser pulled up. Now this was interesting. I opened the door before they knocked. 2 officers, young guy, older woman. "Morning, officers." "We got a call about a domestic situation," the woman said. "Officer Hartman," her name tag read. "No situation. Just someone who doesn't live here anymore wanting to come in." "That's a lie." She pushed forward. "I live here. He locked me out." "Ma'am, step back, please," Officer Hartman said firmly. "This is my house." "Is your name on the deed?" the male officer asked. "Officer Walker." She hesitated. "We're married. It's our house." "Actually, just mine," I said calmly. "Bought it before we got married. Only my name on everything." Officer Hartman looked at me. "Can we see some ID? Proof of residence?" I showed them my license, utility bills with my name and this address, the property deed I kept in my home office. Everything checked out. "She legally has no claim to enter?" Officer Walker asked. "None. She never lived here officially. Mail went to her parents' place. Her choice." That was actually true. Her parents had insisted she keep their address for legal stuff. Some tax thing I never fully understood. Coming in handy now, though. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but if your name isn't on any documentation and he's the sole owner, we can't force entry," Officer Hartman said gently. "This is insane. What about my stuff?" "Did you leave property here?" Officer Walker asked. "I packed what was clearly hers and left it on the porch yesterday," I said. "She texted me last night that someone took it." "He's lying." "Ma'am, you need to calm down," Officer Hartman said more firmly. They talked for another 10 minutes. Eventually, the officers told her she'd need to pursue this through proper legal channels. They couldn't help with a civil property dispute. She stood there on my lawn, crying now. Catherine had her arm around her. The officers left. She stood there staring at me. "This isn't over." "Yeah, it is." I closed the door, locked it, and went back to my coffee. The story spread fast. Small town. Everyone knew someone who knew someone. By Thursday afternoon, half the people I worked with had heard some version of what happened. I was restocking inventory in the warehouse when my boss came by. Douglas, 50-something, ran the electrical supply company for 20 years. "Got a minute?" he asked. We went to his office. He closed the door. "Look, I don't do gossip," he said. "But I'm hearing things. You doing okay?" "I'm fine." "Your wife came by earlier, asking for you." That got my attention. "She was here." Receptionist didn't let her pass the front desk. She made a scene, though, crying, saying you won't talk to her. "I won't." He nodded slowly. "None of my business what happens in your personal life. But if she shows up again causing problems, I'll have to ban her from the property. Understood? You need time off?" "No, work's good for me right now." He stood up, shook my hand. "Hang in there." Good boss. Didn't pry, didn't judge, just offered support and set boundaries. I went back to work, focused on moving boxes, updating inventory, normal stuff. Felt better than sitting at home thinking. Around 4, Wyatt texted me. Marion talked to Catherine. Apparently, there's more to the story. I called him during my break. "What did you hear?" I asked. "So you know how she said she'd choose him if he asked?" "Hard to forget." "Well, apparently there's a specific him. Guy named Ashton. Works at her office." That name, I'd heard it before. The one she had that conference with 2 months ago? That's the one. Something clicked. The weekend conference. How she came back different, distant. Marion says Catherine let it slip that they've been talking for like 6 months. Started as work friends, then got closer. Closer? Yeah. Marion didn't say more, but you can guess. I could guess. Thanks for telling me. You want me to dig more? No, doesn't matter now. We hung up, but it did matter. Not because I wanted her back, just because I wanted to know how blind I'd been. 6 months, half a year of this guy hanging around. And I'd what? Just smiled and nodded when she talked about her helpful co-worker Ashton. I got home around 6. Truck in the driveway, house quiet. Found an envelope taped to my door. Legal letterhead. Her parents' lawyer again. I opened it standing on the porch. Request for mediation. List of shared property. Request for spousal support. Spousal support. We'd been married 3 years. She worked full-time, making decent money. And she wanted support. I took the letter inside, sat at the kitchen table, read it again. They were claiming emotional distress, claiming I'd abandoned her without cause, claiming she had rights to the house despite her name not being on anything. Creative, wrong, but creative. My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hello? It's me. Her voice. Quiet this time, not angry. How'd you get this number? Does it matter? It does when I keep blocking you. Please, just listen for 1 minute. I didn't hang up. Didn't say anything either. I messed up, she said. I know that. What I said at dinner was stupid. I didn't mean it the way it sounded. Silence from me. Ashton and I are just friends, that's all. I was trying to make you jealous or something. I don't know. It was dumb. You done? Are you really not going to give me a chance to explain? You explained at dinner. Pretty clearly. I told you I didn't mean it like that. Then how did you mean it? She hesitated. I was just talking. Girls talk like that sometimes. It doesn't mean anything. Girls talk about choosing other men over their husbands in front of their in-laws. You're twisting this. I'm repeating what you said. Fine. You know what? Maybe I did mean it. Maybe I was tired of you taking me for granted, never doing anything exciting, just work and home and the same boring routine. There it was. The honest part. So you found someone exciting, I said. It's not like that. What's it like then? He listens to me. He pays attention when I talk. He makes me feel special. And I didn't. You stopped trying. I laughed. Actually laughed. It's true. When's the last time you asked me about my day? About what I was working on? About anything other than bills and chores? Silence. That's what I thought, I said. This is exactly why I... She stopped. Why you what? Cheated? I didn't cheat. Just emotionally. For 6 months. With Ashton from work. More silence. Longer this time. Who told you that? Does it matter? Nothing happened. We just talked. Right. You just talked for 6 months. Late nights, conferences. And then you announced at dinner that you'd pick him over me. It's not... Here's the thing, I interrupted. Even if nothing physical happened, you chose him. In your head, in your heart, whatever. You chose him. You told me you'd choose him. So I'm making it easy for you. What does that mean? It means go be with Ashton. See if he's as exciting as you think. He doesn't want a relationship. He's not... She stopped again. Too late. He doesn't want you, I said quietly. That's what you were going to say. He doesn't want a relationship with you. No response. So now you want to come back because your exciting guy doesn't actually want you. And you're stuck. And you're trying to make this my fault. That's not... Yeah, it is. I hung up. Sat there at the kitchen table with the lawyer's letter in front of me. Then I picked up my phone and started looking for divorce attorneys. Time to stop reacting and start acting. I hired a lawyer Friday morning. Found one through a guy at work whose brother went through a divorce last year. Her name was Mrs. Cunningham. 60 years old, sharp as a knife, no patience for nonsense. She reviewed everything in her office. The deed, the bank statements, the timeline. You're in a strong position, she said. House is yours. No kids, short marriage. She works full-time. Her parents' lawyer is asking for spousal support. She smiled. Not friendly, more like a shark spotting blood. Let them ask. They won't get it. 3-year marriage, both employed. She makes $45,000 a year. Judge will laugh them out of court. What about her claiming emotional distress? Did you hit her? No. Threaten her? No. Destroy her property? Packed it and left it outside. Someone stole it. Not my problem what happens to property once it's not on my land. She wrote notes on a legal pad. I like you. You're practical. Makes my job easier. We spent an hour going through everything. She drafted response papers, set a timeline for separation proceedings. One more thing, she said as I was leaving. She's going to escalate. They always do when they realize they're losing. Don't engage. Don't respond to texts or calls. Everything goes through me now. Understood. I left her office feeling better. Having a plan helped. Having someone else handle the details helped more. Work was busy that afternoon. Big order came in, needed to be sorted and loaded by Monday. I volunteered for overtime. Anything to stay busy. Around 7, I was in the warehouse alone when my phone buzzed. Text from Wyatt. Dude, check your email. I pulled up my email on my phone. Message from someone named Savannah. Subject line, about your wife. I opened it. Hi, I don't know if you remember me. We met at your Christmas party 2 years ago. I work with your wife. I think you should know that she and Ashton have been seeing each other since last spring. I'm sorry. I thought you deserved to know. Savannah. Last spring. That was 8 months ago, not 6. I texted Wyatt back. Got it. Him. You okay? Me. Yeah. I wasn't surprised. Just tired. Tired of finding out new details. Tired of realizing how long this had been going on. 8 months of lying, of late nights and excuses, of me trusting her. I finished loading the truck and went home. She was sitting on my porch. No Catherine this time, no friends. Just her, wrapped in a jacket, arms crossed. I parked the truck, got out. We need to talk, she said. No, we don't. Please. I walked past her to the door. She stood up, followed me. I got the divorce papers today. Good, sign them. I don't want a divorce. I unlocked the door. She grabbed my arm. Don't touch me, I said quietly. She let go. Just talk to me, 5 minutes. You had months to talk. You chose to spend that time with Ashton instead. How do you... She stopped. Someone told you. Doesn't matter who. It does matter. People are spreading lies. 8 months, I said. That's not a lie. That's a fact. Her face changed. panic there now. Who told you 8 months? Someone who actually gives a damn about the truth. Nothing happened for most of that time. We were just friends. Stop lying. I'm done with the lies. I'm not. You told me at dinner you'd choose him. You admitted you had feelings for him on the phone. You said he made you feel special. Now you're telling me nothing happened. Emotionally, things happened, but physically, I don't care about the details. I opened my door, started to go inside. Wait, please. Her voice cracked. I messed everything up. I know that. But we can fix this. Go to therapy, start over. I don't want to start over with you. Because of one mistake? 8 months isn't one mistake. It's a choice. Over and over. Every day for 8 months. He meant nothing. I was confused. I was stupid. You were something, all right. She grabbed my arm again. Harder this time. Don't just throw away 3 years of marriage. I pulled my arm free. You threw it away. At dinner, when you smiled and told me you'd pick him. I just accepted it. I was angry that night. You never listened to me, never paid attention. So you cheated. I didn't. Emotionally, physically, doesn't matter. You checked out of this marriage and into whatever you had with him. And now that he doesn't want you, you want back in. She was crying now. Genuine tears this time. He doesn't matter. You matter. We matter. No, we don't. Not anymore. I went inside. She tried to follow. I blocked the door. Please, she whispered. Please don't do this. Sign the papers. Make this easy. I can't lose you. You already did. You just didn't notice. I closed the door, locked it. She stood outside crying for maybe 20 minutes. Then I heard her car start. Watched through the window as she drove away. My phone rang an hour later. Her dad. Son, she's at our house. She's devastated. Okay. That's all you have to say? What do you want me to say, Mr. Dixon? She had an affair. She told me she'd choose him over me. Now she's upset because he doesn't want her and I won't take her back. An affair? She said you two just had a fight. Ask her about Ashton. 8 months of talking, late nights, conferences. Ask her. Silence. I sat at your table and listened to her tell me she'd pick another man. You were right there. You heard it. She said that was a joke. It wasn't. We both know it wasn't. More silence. The divorce papers are drafted, I continued. She can sign them or drag this out. Her choice. But I'm done. You're making a mistake. No, sir. I'm fixing one. I hung up, sat on the couch, turned on the TV. Some cop show. My phone buzzed. Text from Mrs. Cunningham. Her attorney contacted me. They want to negotiate. I told them we're not negotiating. Sign or go to court. Your call. I typed back. No negotiations. Her. Good. I'll let them know. The cop show played. I didn't really watch it. Just sat there thinking. 3 years of marriage. 5 years together. Down to legal papers and lawyers. Should have felt worse about it. Should have felt something. But mostly, I just felt relieved. Like I'd been holding my breath underwater and finally came up for air. 3 months later, the divorce was final. She fought it for a while. Tried to claim the house, tried to get support, tried everything her parents' lawyer could think of. Judge wasn't impressed. Short marriage, both employed. No kids, no shared property. Clean break. She walked away with nothing but what she'd brought into the marriage, which wasn't much. I kept the house, kept my truck, kept my life. Work stayed steady. Douglas gave me a raise in February, not because he felt bad for me, just said I'd earned it. Been there 5 years, reliable, good worker. I took it. Wyatt and Marion had me over for dinner every few weeks. Never mentioned her unless I brought it up, which I didn't. The house felt different without her stuff everywhere. Cleaner, simpler, mine. I painted the bedroom, got rid of that awful beige she'd insisted on. Went with dark blue instead. Looked better. Fixed the fence in the backyard. Built new shelves in the garage. Projects I'd been putting off because she always had other priorities. Her priorities, not ours. Took me a while to see that. I ran into Savannah at the grocery store in March, the woman who'd sent me that email. "Hey," she said, nervous. "How are you doing?" "Good. Thanks for the heads up back then." I felt terrible not saying something sooner, but it wasn't my place until... "You said it when it mattered. That's what counts." She smiled, relieved. For what it's worth, nobody at the office talks to her much anymore, after everything came out. What came out? About her and Ashton. Turns out she wasn't the only one. He'd been doing the same thing with at least 2 other women there. Married guy, 3 kids. His wife found out. Showed up at the office. Whole thing exploded. I almost felt bad for her. Almost. "She still work there?" I asked. "She quit last month. Too awkward, I guess." We talked for a few more minutes. Normal stuff, weather, work, nothing heavy. I got home and put the groceries away. Made dinner, chicken and rice. Simple. My phone buzzed. Text from a number I didn't recognize. "I hope you're happy now." Her. Different number again. I stared at it for a minute. Thought about responding. Thought about blocking it. Then I just deleted it. Didn't block, didn't respond. Just deleted. She wasn't worth the energy anymore. April came. Weather got warmer. I started running in the mornings. Nothing crazy, just a couple miles. Felt good though. Clear head before work. Wyatt invited me to a barbecue at his place. His brother was in town, some cousins, just family and friends. I went. Met his cousin Juliet, teacher at the elementary school. Funny, easy to talk to. We spent most of the afternoon just talking about normal stuff. Books, movies, her students. She laughed at my jokes, the bad ones too. "You're different than Marion described," she said. "What did Marion say?" "That you'd been through something rough, but you were handling it well." "Marion talks too much." She smiled. "Marion cares about you. That's different." We exchanged numbers. Nothing serious, just friendly. But it felt nice talking to someone without all the baggage, without the history, without the lies. 2 weeks later, Juliet texted me, asked if I wanted to grab coffee. I said yes. We met at this place downtown. Small shop, good coffee. Not Starbucks, local place. Talked for 2 hours about everything, about nothing. She didn't ask about my ex. Didn't pry into what happened. Just let me be whoever I was right now, not who I'd been before. "You want to do this again sometime?" she asked when we were leaving. "Yeah, I'd like that." We did dinner the next week. Movie after that. Nothing rushed. Just easy. I didn't tell her I was falling for her. Too soon for that. But I liked being around her. Liked how simple it felt. No games, no manipulation, no wondering where I stood. Just honest. May came. Around a year since everything started falling apart with my ex. Couldn't remember the exact date. Didn't matter. I was sitting on my porch one evening, beer in hand, watching the sun go down. My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me. Hello? It's me. Her voice, smaller now, tired. What do you want? I just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything, for what I did, for what I said, all of it. I didn't respond. I know it's too late. I know you've moved on. I just needed you to know that I know I messed up, that it was my fault, not yours. Okay? That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? I don't know. Something? There's nothing to say. It's done. We're done. You apologized. I heard it. Now we both move on. Silence on her end. Are you happy? She asked finally. I'm getting there. Good. You deserve that. So do you. Figure out what you want, then go get it, without dragging someone else down in the process. I will. I'm trying. Good luck with that. I hung up, sat there on my porch, finished my beer, thought about calling Juliet, decided to wait until tomorrow. Inside, the house was quiet, clean, mine. Pictures of us were gone, replaced with nothing, just empty wall space. Would fill it eventually, with something that mattered, something true. My phone buzzed. Text from Juliet. Hope you're having a good night. I smiled. Typed back, getting better. You free this weekend? Her. For you? Absolutely. I set my phone down, looked out at the street, at the house I'd built into a home, at the life I was building into something worth living. 3 years of marriage down the drain. Could have been worse. Could have wasted more time, more energy, more of myself on someone who didn't value any of it. But I didn't. I walked away when it mattered, stood my ground when she tried to come back, refused to settle for less than I deserved. And now I was free, genuinely free, not angry, not bitter, just done with that chapter and ready for whatever came next. I stood up, grabbed my empty beer bottle, went inside, locked the door behind me, and didn't look back. Our story has come to an end. If you've made it this far, how about subscribing to our channel? It helps us immensely. I've selected 2 other videos for you that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Feel free to click on them. I'll be waiting for you in the next story. See you soon.